An airline captain who's got 35 years experience, and he said this is the best sim I've ever been in. Just get out of the way of this income.
Too low, terrain.
We've nipped into Luton Airport and I'm at Voyager House and I'm at Voyager Flight Simulator Experiences. Really excited I've just... there you go, right at the airport as well. So, gentleman's name's Paul. We're going to meet Paul and he's going to show us one of his simulators he's got here.
When we put the place together, we wanted a really nice environment for people to come into.
Yeah.
So this is where we kind of greet our customers, have a cup of tea or coffee before we go and fly, find out if they've got any experience, where they want to go, if they want to do anything particular, like maybe an engine failure or something a bit different. We're always happy to do that. And we also wanted the sim itself to be top notch. So it comes from a supplier that supplies the airlines. So it's really, really good and everything works in it. And we've had pilots come in. We've got a friend that helps out and instructs here who was an airline captain who's got 35 years experience. And he said this is the best sim I've ever been in, which was fantastic. And we've got another current Ryanair captain who the first time he came in, he just looked around and he said, I'm at work. It was that realistic to him.
Wow, so this is cool.
Yeah,
so you've even got that. That's a nice touch that you've got the seats here as well.
We can even feed
and you can feed you in here as well.
Chicken or beef.
And it's Voyager Airline as well, so it's
it's all cool.
Do these open?
Yeah, all opens.
How do you open them? Oh, there we go. Can you even put your luggage in here as well?
So apart from wanting it to be on an airport and coming past aeroplanes on the way, we wanted you to kind of walk in through the cabin.
Yeah, I like it.
That whole feel. And if you do, if you're here for a meal or a celebration, you want afternoon tea, you can do it here.
It's the sound as well.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're on a real plane, doesn't it?
It's a really good surround sound.
Is this your passion for all this?
ProSim.
Yeah. You can see you can see the quality difference, can't you?
Grip Hard 3D, I think, is the visual graphics. But we have a 220-degree wraparound screen. So where we learned it was only 180, which means that window and this window is frosted.
Right. Okay.
So there's a big difference because it goes past your peripheral vision.
Yeah.
You can really, you're absolutely immersed in it.
Also, this is projector as well, isn't it? So
yeah,
because you don't because it's cut off, you don't notice it.
No. Let me get you in.
Yeah.
Forward. Most customers that come in that have very little experience have a reasonable level. As long as they know their lefts and their rights.
Yeah.
And if they drive, that also helps. But they have a reasonable level of competency, and we can get them to take off and land pretty much with which helps.
It's quite advanced for a 737. This is like a.
So this is an 800. The 737s have evolved over a very long time. So this
is like one of the latest versions.
So this was the original one. This first flew in 1967.
Okay.
And this is the 100. You can see the really little skinny pure jet engines. And over the years, it's grown and grown and grown and grown. So this is the 100 that's sat at.
So that was the original 737.
Yeah.
And then
this is the Max. So that's the latest.
Yeah.
That seats about 200.
And when were they built? Like
the Max. The Maxes were built, I think, from about 5 years ago, maybe.
Oh, okay. So still very.
Yeah, they're still
very new, and they're still in service currently.
So this is the 800, which is a couple back, but is the most popular. So just to give you numbers wise, Concorde there were only 24 built.
Yeah.
A380, the double deck, there was about 250 built.
Yeah.
Jumbo Jet 747, 1500. Boeing 737, it's the most popular airliner ever, 11,500.
Wow.
And they're still building them.
them.
And out of that, half is this particular one, the 800. So what you're flying now is the most popular. And what's happened with all this, the original ones had steam gauges,
Yeah, because in my mind, I thought I never realised. I thought the 737 was old. I thought it was being phased out.
All of these really clunky switches, are pretty similar to the original
designs.
And in terms of being a pilot and also for us as a customer experience, it's really nice because they're really, really clunky, proper switches.
Yeah, that's nice. It's like,
you really fit it. if you're in an Airbus, I mean, first of all, there's no yoke.
Yeah.
There's just a little computer side stick.
Yeah.
And a lot of this panel is push button. So it's a very different feel. Some pilots love Airbus. Some pilots love Boeing.
Yeah.
Right. So, what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Are we ready? I think we're ready. This is Luton.
Yep.
We're going to take off. We'll just do a little circuit around and we'll come back into land on the second way. So, in order to take off, if you have your left hand on there and your right hand on here, and then we're going to stabilise thrust first of all.
Okay.
So you're going to push it as far as it gets to 40%.
Okay.
So it's about upright. So if you look on this display there, about there. And if you just look ahead of you,
Do you want to put it back a little bit? Or?
No, it's about okay. You'll see that we start, and just a tiny bit of left pedal just to get us onto the centre line.
Yeah.
And then if you set thrust, so push it all the way forward for me. All the way. And then if you let go and hold onto the yoke with both hands on, look after the throttle.
Okay.
And then just use the pedals just to keep us on the centre line. Looks like there's something coming in the other way, but it'll go around. So it's speed's alive, 80 knots, and you'll say check.
Check.
So I know you're alive and you're competent
I
to
know
carry
what
on
I'm
with the
doing,
flight. And then I'll call out V1 and rotate. So V1 and rotate. Pull towards me. Pull. And I would do an immediate left turn because we just want to rail. That's it, just get out of the way of this incoming.
Too low, terrain.
So in the real world, that of course would not happen. Air traffic.
Too low,
Yeah,
terrain.
You see, he's going around the other way. He's making a left turn. That's it. Beautifully done. Yeah, real world air traffic, that would not happen. But hey ho.
In
Video. I'm just going to video him coming near us here. Nice. Cool, so we'll climb to 3,000, positive rate, gear up. We'll speed up and put the flaps away. Auto throttles on. So we'll level out at 3,000. So if you start just pushing down a little bit, we can put the flight directors on. Excellent. So you see the pink cross on your display? So you just want to fly that little black dot in the middle towards the cross. That's really good. And you can also use just the horizon outside as a... That's it, just pull back a tiny bit. And we can put some flap away and speed up. That's lovely. So after takeoff checklist. Retractable lights are off, start switches are off, no smoking, fasten seatbelt starts are on, MCT is set, gear is off and locked, RTO is off, flaps are deployed, on, stowed, speed brake is stowed. Happy days, how does it feel?
It's good, yeah. Do you know what? It's a little in this sort of cockpit. It's a bit overwhelming, isn't it? There's a lot going on. Where I'm used to flying, obviously, like the Cessna 152.
Yeah.
And then going into, I love my war sims, so it's like flying just warbirds. But even comparing it to something like a Phantom, there's still a lot going on. Because it's all over the. It's not where everything. It's normally HOTAS in an aeroplane. So like everything's hand on front on a stick, and you've got pretty much everything very near you. Where this, you can see why they've got a co-pilot.
And also you tend to filter out what you don't need. So like most of this we set before we go, and when you turn the aircraft on at the beginning of the day, you go through it in a very set way. And then when you turn it off, you go the other way.
Okay.
But during flight, most of it we go. Right, so let's just get back up to 3,000, and we'll do a right heading. 340 degrees, so if you just follow the flight director and look in the window at the same time. That's really good.
So there was air traffic earlier on, wasn't there? So do you get much in the?
You can actually dial it up and dial it down in the software. So we've got a moderate amount, because if you don't put any in, when you get to an airport, there's nothing there. So if you taxi it, and there's no other aircraft around, which doesn't look so good.
Did you say it had auto throttle? So
we're on auto throttles.
So that will know if I pull up, it's going to increase the flow.
And then if you want, I'll just show you autopilot as well. So if you just get it onto the cross,
So can you get can the pallet, will it follow that cross if you set it to?
So if you press there, if you press there for me, that's engaging the autopilot.
Okay.
So now we've got auto throttles in, autopilot, happy days.
And that's trimming it and everything.
Trims it all. So an
There
Airbus,
trim wheels there, I guess.
yeah, an Airbus, so we can trim manually,
Yeah.
but an Airbus, it trims automatically. So we need to do a right turn heading 34, we're on 340.
So if you're entering in your
050.
destination, do you enter your destination on ease? Yeah.
And it follows, so if you press LNAV and you've got a route plot, it will just follow the route. Okay. But otherwise we'll vector. So if we do a right turn 050.
So what do I do here?
Just turn it to me, 050. You see, as soon as you turn it, the aircraft. So instead of doing this, we're commanding the aircraft by the autopilot.
So that's just setting a heading. That's all that's doing there.
Exactly. And you can see this is the heading we've set.
Yeah.
So when it comes to here, the aircraft will roll out. In fact, we could do 06.
So there, it's going to hit there, and that's going to
do 07.
07.
Yeah, because we want to parallel the runway. So if you have
I can see it's that alternate on there now. Yeah.
So this is the runway. This is the extended centre line of the runway.
Yep.
So when we get to about here, we should see the airport on our right hand side. And then what we'll do is we'll fly up past the airport, turn around, set up for an ILS approach, and then you can have the, we'll take off the autopilot and you can land us. So in order to set up, this is another thing. In a Boeing, we have to put in the ILS frequency.
Yep.
In an Airbus, you just set the runway heading and it puts it in automatically.
Okay.
So what we do is we look it up in here. We're landing on, we're at Echo Golf Golf Whiskey, runway 25.
Yep.
Which is 2,161 metres.
Yep.
Not that long, there's a bit of air traffic.
Oh yeah.
Our ILS frequency is 109.15. So if you want to put it in here, 109.15, I'll do it my side.
Oh, okay, so I do it to top and bottom.
Yeah,
so 109.
109.15. And then just press the transfer button. So 10915, 10915.
And that'll show on there. Okay.
And the runway heading we're going to land on is 254.
Yep.
So if you can just adjust that to 254.
On the heading there?
No,
on the course.
On course.
254.
Yeah. And then what that shows on your display here, in white, 254. And if we went, as the crow flies to the runway, it's 8.4 miles. So that's the airport over there. That's the airport.
Okay.
So we're going to come up to here, go there, come back this way.
Okay.
And as we turn around, we have to configure the aircraft. And what that means is we're slowing it down and preparing it for landing. So at the moment we've got no flap out, we're flying at 250 knots.
Yep.
We're going to land at about 100, well it tells us here actually. I haven't programmed enough for it to tell me, but about 150 knots we'll land at.
Okay.
With 30. So we have to slow ourselves down and gradually put flap out. So we have degrees of flap if you're in an
So
Airbus.
you would, yeah, so as you're slowing down, then you change the flaps accordingly as the speed decreases.
Yeah. So this is the routing in.
Okay, so that's showing you the route.
Yeah. So final fix 3,000 feet. So when we get to there, we're at 3,000 anyway. But if we were descending from cruise, then we'd have to be at 3,000 feet.
I think that's just the difference when you, because like I say, my only experience is like military aviation, and when it's two different speeds, isn't it? I suppose in civil aviation, you've got that time. It's just getting to a location, a destination, and you've got that time to think. Shouldn't be any real curveballs thrown in your way. Where if you're a fighter pilot, it's all reactive straight. That's what makes.
And ideally, you should from the cruise to there. If possible, you should be doing it on idle thrust.
Yeah.
All the way down because there's so much more fuel efficient.
Can you do the software on that?
All Bluetooth.
Oh, really?
Time of day, position.
That's cool.
Weather. So if I wanted to go Cat 3,
wow.
You can't see a thing.
That would be scary flying.
So we'd have to auto land.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, it's left a bit of fault behind.
Oh well.
Oh well, we'll just do a little bit of
Yeah,
fault.
what the fuck.
seatbelts. And you might be able to see there's a runway directly ahead of us now. That's the airport.
Yeah, I've seen, yeah.
That's right. You see the puppies?
Yeah.
The lights?
Yeah.
So we've got 2 red, 2 white. Because we're on autopilot, it's holding it exactly on the flight director.
Yeah.
We're on exactly the right path, so we've got 2 whites, 2 reds. So if we don't do anything,
yeah,
it's going to put us onto the runway.
Yeah.
If it was fogged out and we were on auto land, it would flare and pop us down. But you can land it. So we're at 2,000 feet at the moment. So when we get to about 1,000, I'll take off the autopilot. You'll fly us in. At that stage, you actually don't have to do very much because there's no wind.
Yeah.
So we're all nice and set up. The only thing you have to do is flare.
Okay.
So the aircraft will call out 150, 40.
Yeah.
So when you get to 100, you just want to squeeze, no more than a squeeze towards you, just to give that pressure so that we pick the nose wheel up, land on the main, and it also arrests how fast we're coming.
Okay.
Okay, so the brakes are on 3, speed brake is armed. Air traffic have given us permission to land. Happy days. So the aircraft will call out 1,000 feet.
1,000.
So we say landing or stabilised actually, which means that we're completely ready. We're configured, flaps right, landing gear down, speed right. So I'm going to take off the autopilot. You have control.
I have control.
And happy days. So all you have to do is keep box on the cross.
Yeah.
Keep the runway nice and straight. 2 reds, 2 whites. All you have to do. So just go left a tiny bit.
500.
Left. Left a tiny bit. And up a tiny bit.
400. Glide slow.
Up a tiny bit and left a tiny bit. That's it. So just get it
Glide slow.
bang on the cross. And look out at the same time as well.
Glide slow.
See, so I think the A38, they've have a head-up display now, don't they?
Yeah, and also Dreamliners have got a head-up display.
300.
Push it down a little bit. Push it down a little bit. There's someone coming in the other way,
200.
but it's all right. They'll go around. Turn right a tiny bit. That's it. Push it down. Push it down. Push it down. Push it down.
Bank angle. Bank
Turn
angle.
left. Turn left. Turn
100.
left. That's it. And then pull back a tiny bit.
Sink rate.
And
we've missed the runway.
we
My battery on my camera has just run out, but I don't know if we caught the end of that landing, but it was it was a ropey. Well, it wasn't a landing; it was a crash. But we're gonna come back anyway.
Okay.
There we go. Carl still hasn't flew it either, have you? You brought me here and we haven't flew it.